People owe you money? How to collect past due invoices. Unfortunately, it's a reality. There's times when clients just don't pay, or they take forever to pay. And ironically, big companies usually take 30, 60, 90, even 120 days. I've had clients who are way beyond that. Now, two recent examples that actually happened within our Atlanta Voiceover studio community. Okay, breaking in here. I actually was going to tell you who it was, but the case is still pending. He's pursuing legal means, so I don't want to mess anything up. So for now, we'll say he's Tyler Durden. In any case, Tyler is owed thousands of dollars. The route he was originally pursuing was a collection agency, so we'll talk about that. The second situation is Dominique. She's also an AVS alumni and has also been our admin here at the studio for a fill-in time, and now voiceover talent. But she keeps hearing an ad that she voiced and it's way past its usage time. So how do you handle these types of situations? Ever hear of a class talking about this stuff? Well, let me give you some ways that you can proceed, and hopefully it'll give you a good shot at getting paid, and what to do if you never get paid. First, let's address Dominique's situation. Let's say you voice something and then it's supposed to be used for a certain amount of time and then you hear it play past that time, like Dominique. If you booked it through an agent, contact that agent. And if you're able to record the spot when you hear it play or run, which would be awesome, that's great if you could send it along. Just helps prove the point. So what about if you book this through an online casting site, or maybe it's one of your clients? Contact the client, and when you contact them, include any contract or written agreement with the usage that you agreed to. You could say, "Hey, I heard such and such project play recently. That's wonderful that it's still running. I hope it's really successful for you. Our original agreement included X amount of usage. Since we're beyond that usage, would you like to extend it for X amount of dollars?" In case this is your first video on voiceover and you've never heard of this before, it's okay to negotiate. You're running a voiceover business. People expect this, and especially if you have something in written form that says we're going to only run it for X amount of time. They should expect this type of communication. Recent example for me, I actually booked something on camera 2 years ago. After a year, they decided to run it another year, and they paid me accordingly through my agent. Well, somebody just messaged me on Facebook saying, "Hey, this is a great little picture of you. I was watching TV at night, and there you are." In the back of my head, I'm like, I think this is past the time that it's supposed to be running. And sure enough, it was. So my agent negotiated another $1,000 for a 13-week run. This is why you gotta get agents if you don't have one. They are wonderful, and they should be a part of your voiceover team. But I digress. Breaking in again, here's Tyler's dilemma. What to do when a client is past due? Now, like I said before, some clients pay net 90, some 120. I've had clients pay after 6 months. Now, if it's been less than that, contact the client and ask what their payment terms are. Is it past their payment term? After a reminder email, you may want to suggest a payment plan, especially if it's a freelance contractor or a small business. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, "Oh, it just fell through the cracks." But, and I will say this is super important. Throughout the process, save the communication between you and your client. Now, this is easy through email, but make sure the date and time of the correspondence is clear. What do you do if you have to do multiple reminders? Well, if you've sent multiple reminders without any hope of getting paid, it may be time to consider a collection agency. So when is it appropriate to actually use a collection agency? If you're dealing with a client or ad agency or business that you want to work with in the future, you may want to consider just sending reminder emails. Getting a notification from a collection agency will definitely cut ties. And sometimes it's all a matter of patience. You never know what's going on in people's lives. An example is with Heidi. Recently, she had a client who was behind for a while. She kept sending reminder emails after reminder emails. She was at that point after a few months that she was like, "Do I need to do more?" Then she decided to do one more reminder. Turns out, the client got back to her, said he's been really sick for a long time and that's why he's been behind. She did end up getting paid and she's so glad she didn't go with the collections agency. So it's a good reminder, collections agencies should be last resort. Now when you use a collections agency, they've got their own rate system. Typically, agencies charge between 10 and 50% of the monies that they collect, and the percentage is based on the difficulty of collecting the money. Good question to ask is, do collections agencies have a good success rate? TheFairCapital.com shared a survey, and they said on average debt collectors have a 21.7% success rate.
What?
Although Fair Capital said they have a 50% success rate. Bottom line is, you can figure between 21 and 50%. Is it worth it? It's going to be up to you to decide. Now, things to ask a collections agency. 1, are they licensed? 2, are they part of the Better Business Bureau or commercial collection agency? 3, what's their average success rate? Things to remember. The collections agency should only get paid when they collect the debt. And secondly, have detailed information on the project at the ready. Invoices, completed delivered work dates, a timeline, your reminder correspondence, terms of service. anything and everything related to your communications with the client. So here's a good question about taxes. If you don't get paid, can you write those off on your taxes? For us, our accountant reports on a cash basis, meaning we technically didn't book the job until we received payment. So for us, we cannot. However, if you're on something called an accrual basis, meaning you book the job when you perform the service, you can. Now, this is as much as I know about this, so consult a professional to get accurate and correct information. Don't just rely on my word. I'm just sharing the experience that we've had. You need to do your own due diligence because your situation may be different from ours. So how do you prevent past due invoices? Work through an agent. If you book a large paying job on your own, it may be a great idea to take it to your agent. See if they'd be willing to help you with the contract. It'll be a good little commission for them, and it'll help protect you. Another way is to research the company. This is honestly harder to do because of how quickly our industry works. Most companies that have a solid business online have been in business for a while and have a history of working with independent contractors. You pretty much don't have to worry about them. Be wary of freelance clients or individuals who may run the company but don't have a dedicated accounting person or team. And this is the red flag we wish we would have seen with Tyler's situation. And to be honest, it's also mine because I recommended this client to him. And I haven't gotten paid either. Thousands of dollars. The client has a successful company or had one, and the invoices we would send directly to him. Now, I wouldn't turn down all jobs from individuals, but if it's a large paying job or a multiple job project, see if you can ask for partial payment, which is something that I should have done as well. Partial payment before the session, and then the rest of the payment after. For a multiple project job, as soon as there starts to be a delay in the payment process, don't continue doing the rest of the work until payment is made. Hoping and praying Tyler's situation works out, and mine as well. I will keep you updated, but as a note, I did actually hear from the guy, and he said that he's actually going through bankruptcy and liquidation. So once that is taken care of, then he'll be able to start paying people back. We'll see. Who knows how much money he'll have after all that, so time will tell. Hopefully this doesn't ever happen to you, but if it does, we hope that these tips help you out and give you some resource to getting that cheddar back. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and please send it off to somebody you think may benefit from this. Cheers to you and your voiceover journey.